Nope. I'm recording now. Thank you. Too many hats. So if you're, in one hand, you're saying that I really want to achieve the crystal executive deadline, that's really what I'm working towards. You know, I'm really wanting to achieve that. But on the other hand, you're thinking to yourself, oh, I can't talk to people. Like, I'm too nervous. People don't listen to me. They don't want what I have to share with them. Like, I'm not a role model. I'm not a leader. But over here, you're saying this is what I want. The universe is like, WTF, girlfriend? Like, what do you want? Because you're not being incongruent with what it is that you're saying that you want. Because your thoughts are sabotaging what you've put on a piece of paper and what you've set as your goal. Does that make sense? Okay. And so when we think about it, and again, when we talk, you know, we talk about the thoughts, how many of you have ever had a situation where, you know, you weren't really sure about the decision to make on it, but you just felt in your guts, like you just knew, you felt sick to your stomach about it. It just didn't feel right, but you maybe went ahead and did it anyways. So the thing to remember is that our body will tell us exactly. And when you think about little kids will tell you exactly what they want or what they don't want. If they don't want to kiss Uncle Joe, they're not kissing Uncle Joe because they're not comfortable with that situation. And that's where what happens is, as we go through life, we get conditioned to not listen to our inner ding. Louise Hay calls it our inner ding, into our guts. And so it's really important to keep in mind that if you're not really sure if your thoughts are causing you some havoc, pay attention to what the feeling is. You know, and Susan Sly talked about this on our CEO call today about the feeling. Think about the feeling. All right. Now let's talk about words in our language. All right. Are you guys willing to play full out and start making some tweaks in how you speak? Yes, you're going to be true to you. You're going to be authentic to you, but there's going to be a couple of bad words I'm going to have you guys remove or switch up. All right. So when we talked about I am, how many of you say I am not? I am not. Right. So think about where you're using that. And again, if you're wanting to speak life, breathe life, you know, feel life in what it is that you're really wanting to accomplish, put it in a positive I am statement. And if for you to say right now, you know what, I'm an Isagenix millionaire, or I am 120 pounds, or I am a size 8, or whatever that is, it feels like a bit of a lie, saying I'm in the process of allows you to feel a shift, allows you to feel a change, to know that you're moving towards what it is that you actually are looking, you're desiring, and you're wanting to achieve. Does that make sense? So when it comes to, you know, how are you doing in Isagenix, you know, you making the big bucks yet? You can just say, you know what, I am just plugged into a system that I'm so super excited about. What I do, I really feel is making a difference for people. And I'm in the process of truly helping myself, my family, and others transform their lives financially and physically. So you don't need to give numbers. You don't need to give dollars. You can let them know what you're in the process of, and you can let them know who you're partnered with. Right? But again, people don't really care about the number. They don't really care about the products most of the time. They care about the benefits and how it's going to make them feel. So bring them back to that, and bring them back to who they are and what their goals are and what would make a difference for them in their lives. Take it away from you. Is that helpful? Okay. How many of you say the word try? I'll try. All right. So when we say I'll try, you're not going to do it. You're giving yourself an out. Don't bullcrap yourselves. All right. Yoda says, and this is the only Star Wars quote I know, I think, there is no try, there's only do. Right? So do it or don't do it. Do it and fall flat on your butt. But do your best. Or just decide you're not going to do it. But don't say you're going to try, because when you say try, it doesn't even feel good to say try. It feels wimpy. Right? Because you're not really going to do it. You're not committed to doing it. So do it or don't do it. Right? Make sense? Need. How many of you say, oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. I really need that. I really need it. Who likes to be needy? Nobody likes to be needy, right? So sometimes when people will say, oh, I really need to do that, I'll say, do you need to do that, or are you committed to it? Because if you're committed to it, then do it. You don't need to. You need water and oxygen and food. Love. Those are, you know, requirements. So is it needed or is it required? Yeah, or required to do. Thanks, Jen. Right? So just switching that word can really transform the results that you get, that you achieve. Is that helpful? And how many of you should on yourselves? I should do this. I should do that. I should. Quit shoulding on yourselves. It's never good. Okay? That's another one that you can switch up. All right. Now, how many of you have goals that are written as, I will be Crystal Executive by da 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 da. I will, you know, let go of 30 pounds by da 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 da. I will be an IsaBody finalist. So the thing with I will and the thing with I'm going to and the thing with is that you are putting it in the future and it's going to stay in the future. Put it in an I am statement, okay? You can even say it is July 9th and I am a Crystal Executive. It is, you know, I am, and if you need to say, sorry, if you would like to say in the process of, I am in the process of, that creates momentum and movement. That means there's movement towards it. It's not keeping you stuck in the place. All right, so what I would like you to do is I'd like you to think about the goals you may have written down someplace right now, and I would like you to start to think about how you can tweak those goals that you have, okay? Awesome. So, and then, you know, and then this leads us into the final piece, which I talked about, is the actions, because obviously the actions are required, all right? Are the actions that we're taking in congruence with what it is that we actually want, or are they taking us further away? So an example of that is if you've ever read The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, he talks about, you know, having a cheeseburger a week. It's not a big deal, but you do that for months or years and you're going to run into problems, right? So if you're following a 30-day system, or if you're working with someone who's following a 30-day system and we're helping these people, but they're still, you know, they're still eating, you know, bags of chips at night, or they're still, because it's no big deal because they've made some changes otherwise, but they're still doing this one thing, or they're still having, you know, the extra wine on the weekend, or, you know, the thing is that action taking them closer to their goal or further away? You know, later on down the road, we get to a maintenance place, we may be able to do that. You know, right now you put in your 10 hours of income producing activity, and later on down the road, you know, you can compartmentalize it differently because you've got the actions, you've got the consistency, you've got the skills, you know, down pat, that you can start to tweak it and play with it a little bit. But until we get into those habits of working towards what it is we want, we have to get really real with ourselves and just say, if that's not moving you towards your goal, stop it. Don't kid yourself, right? All right. So here's what we're going to do is we're going to take some responsibility. You guys willing to take some responsibility? All right. So what I'm going to ask you to do is on the left side, we're not going to do many of these because you can spend some time on this on your own outside of the call. But on the left side of your paper, I'd like you to write, let's go with 2 things in your life that you may not totally be happy with right now. 2 things in your life that you would like to be different. Maybe it's your business, maybe it's your health, you know, your fitness, maybe it's your house is a disaster, you never spend time with your spouse, like whatever it is. What are 2, just do 2 things. Don't get too tricky on it, complicated. Just for now, just put 2. Okay. Okay, everyone have 2? So now on the right side, and again, just write a couple of things because you can really dive into this, do a deep dive on this later. But who are you being that attracted that? Now we spoke about we spoke about our words, we spoke about what we think about, we spoke about all of those things. So what are some things that you may be doing that may have attracted the situation? Just get real on that. Okay, we'll be able to come up with a couple. Again, I know once we open the floodgates, it's easy to keep writing. Okay, so throw some things in the chat there. How does it feel, or what thoughts might be coming up for you just on those couple of things that we did? Eye-opening. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes we don't even really realize how we're throwing ourselves off track. Thanks, Sabrina. Cool. Okay, so we're not going to stay in that place. Okay, we're going to raise the vibration up a little bit. So now what I want you to do, clean sheet of paper, okay? And I'm only going to have you do 2 or 3 because, again, you can spend a lot of time on this, and I would really like you to. So what I would like you to do is think about what is a burning desire for you. What is a big goal for you right now? Maybe it's a crystal exec. Maybe it's an extra $2,000 a month into your bank account. Maybe it's to eat Isagenix for free and order whatever the heck you want whenever you want. Maybe it's to, you know, to get to that celebration event to hear Tony Robbins live. Maybe it's to be able to do a vacation with your family. Like, what is a big goal for you right now? Okay, don't put too much into it. Just throw it down on the paper there. Everybody got one? Okay. So now on the left side of your sheet, I would like you to write 3 things right now, just 3 things of who you would be to have that happening in your life. Who are you being? How are you thinking? How are you showing up? How are you communicating with people? How are you living your days? How are you taking care of your health? How are you conversing with people? How are you contributing? What are your relationships like? What are 3 key things that you are to attract that into your life? And I know you can go and do a big list, and I would like you to do that for yourself at some point, but for now we'll throw 3. Okay? All right. Now, on the right side, what has to change in order for that to be reality? What has to change? What can you do different? How can you show up different? What's a tweak you can make? Just a couple things for now, because you can expand on it later. Because here's the thing, you guys, is every time you do one of those things on the right, you're letting yourself off the hook. So stop it. Stop it. If you're really serious about what you desire in your life, you deserve it. It's already out there waiting for us. Everything that we're looking to achieve, even Sarah Jane, what you were saying that you're working towards, it's already out there waiting for us just to accept it, receive it, deserve it, believe it. It's already there. It's there. There's no lack of abundance. There's no shortage. But until we get the combination of everything required from our soul level out, it's not going to show up. Does that make sense? So I'm going to ask you guys to spend some time on that exercise for yourself. Give yourself that gift, okay? Your action steps are to spend some time on that exercise. It'll evolve as you go, so keep it as an evolving list. And I would ask you to tweak your goals and your affirmations, like I am abundance, I am wealth, I am joy, I am love, I'm attracting the most amazing butt-kicking, leaders into my team. I am a woman who, stands in her power and is healthy, strong, and fit from the inside out. Like whatever those affirmations are, get those things down on paper. It's a good idea to do some cue cards of those and have those. I've got them bedside and I've got them on my desk. So I read them morning and night. And this is how I start my day. And another thing that you can do, you don't have to make it complicated. Don't be an over-organizer like me. However, I do like to have a book of my goals. And in the beginning of it is my I am statement. So I am a woman who's completely healthy and fit in body, mind, and spirit. I'm a woman who makes an amazing contribution to the health of the planet, the people on it, etc. So that is how I stand there in my power, in the mirror, look in my own eyes, and self-love first before, we sort of self-love with everyone else. And then the other thing I was going to say is, the gratitudes. We've talked about gratitude before. And what we're looking to receive in our lives, you guys, when we give it first, we give it without attachment. We're not attached to results, we're attached to the outcomes. We will receive it tenfold. And it will not come from where we expect it. So I hope that I've given you guys some great nuggets so that you can incorporate them into your Isagenix business building, into your personal lives, and into helping your people. And if you guys have any, shares or anything that you want to jump out and do some shares on, that would be great. I mentioned the book, A Happy Pocket Full of Money, and I'm starting a book club. I've never done a book club before, but I thought, I love sharing these things, and I would really love for people to work through these things together. And we know that when we grow ourselves, our businesses grow. So if you guys would like to know more about the book club, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for jumping on the call. I'm just going to open it up in case there's any other announcements. Marcia's got her book there. Great. All right, guys, go ahead, open up your lines, and you can put anything in the chat there if you want to put it in. Go ahead, Michelle.
Hey, Tinya, I was just going to say that next week, just to kind of prime everybody up for what we might be talking about, is when we were at the CEO event, Susan Sly talked about her productivity notebook and how she plans the day before and all of that. So I'm going to share, and maybe some of the people that were there are going to share how she did her productivity notebook, how she tracks everything every day, what she uses for the agenda, all that kind of stuff, because I found it really, really powerful in ask and how she goes about and does that. So definitely we'll be talking about that and just strategies. So yeah, Tina just wrote in the notes for those people not looking at it to bring a notebook to the call, because we're actually going to do it. We're actually going to get our productivity notebook set up. We're going to get our schedule set. We're going to do the whole exercise together. And I know I've been doing it since I got back. I have found it very, very useful to really stay on track. Oh yeah, there you go. Tina's got hers, and it's definitely useful. So bring your notebook next week, and looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thanks, Michelle. And yeah, like we said, it doesn't have to be a fancy one. It can be the dollar store ones. That's all Susan uses, is just those, 5-star notebook kind of things. So very simple. Awesome. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for jumping on the call. There's a Susan Sly call right now with someone who is Sam Richter. He talks about lead generation without buying leads. So that'll be a great call to jump on. And I've got a 90-day action group, Joyful Money. So you guys can stick around, and I will see you guys shortly. Love you guys. Have a great night.